Greg Clark's announcement of a fast-track Insolvency Service probe into the collapse of Carillion and its current and former directors should be treated with contempt. Carillion chairman Philip Green can resume his search for owners, former chief executive Richard Howson can retreat to his Swiss chalet and serial non-executive director and former Tony Blair acolyte Dame Sally Morgan can look for the next job. There is little to fear. We have been here before. After the outcry over the collapse of BHS, then Business Secretary Sajid Javid announced a similar fast-track inquiry by the Insolvency Service on May 3, 2016. Since then the world has moved on. Former BHS proprietor and namesake Sir Philip Green made good on the pension fund. Dominic Chappell has had his first days in court and been found guilty of failing to provide the Pensions Regulator with timely information. And the new Qatari owners of BHS are making an international success of the brand on the web. The last heard from it was a guarded letter to Frank Field MP in February 2017 informing his committee that the issues were complex, the volume of evidence great, and it planned to be in a position to pursue proceedings against former directors earlier than April 2019. In other words, the 11,000 former BHS employees, its suppliers, retirees and everyone else connected to the company will have waited up to 3 years to see justice done, if at all. One thinks back to the late Lord Justice Bingham's inquiry into the collapse of BCCI in 1992, which was completed and published within a year. As for the Financial Reporting Council probe into KPMG and the accountants working for Carillion, there can be no hope for a definitive or speedy response. Hedge funds and short traders could see that Carillion was racing towards the buffers by careful reading of the accounts and monitoring of the construction media. But the audit report gave no clues. If HBOS is any guide, however, KPMG will sail magnificently on with partners collecting average salaries of £722,000. Too often pension scheme members are the last thing on the minds of those involved in takeover battles. The GKN Pension Fund trustees note that after a cash injection of £250 million into the pension fund in the last year, the retirement schemes are still in deficit to the tune of £1.1 billion, or potentially £1.8 billion depending on how the computations are done. Indeed, with 32,337 members, the GKN schemes are larger than BHS and Carillion.Not. Surprisingly, given the recent history of firms seeking to ditch pension funds, making sure the covenant is strong enough and the pension scheme properly funded is a key piece of any takeover. As far as the predators are concerned, pension liabilities are a poison pill. Former President Barack Obama's war on British petroleum, as he deliberately called it after the Deepwater Horizon explosion in 2010, is still costing UK savers and pensioners dearly.